Good evening everyone and welcome back to another Monday night live stream, and this one with a bit of a difference. This one is our first ever and heaven knows how this one's going to work out, but it is our first ever Monday night fighting fantasy live. Whoa! I tried to go all kind of atmospheric tonight as well, as you can see. Got to kind of try my best to set the lights up here. Slightly different position here because I need to be close to my screens to be able to see things that's going on. So we'll very quickly dip in and we'll say hello to everybody. But I've got no idea how long this is going to take. But I've tried my best to try and make this work. So let me know what you think of it. So I'm assuming the sound and everything's okay. I don't think I've got any kind of. Let me I'll just mute this just in case. Not sure if I have any feedback or not. So who have we got in the chat? We've got Christian Reeves in nice and early. Good evening, Christian. How are you doing, fella? We've got Mark in as well. Good evening, Mark. Hope you're well. Steve Evans in nice and sharp as well. Good evening, Steve. We've got Daz 1970 in. Good evening, Daz. Hope you're well. We then had Glyn and Kieran both sneaking at the same time there as well. Evening, gents. Hope you're both well. We've got Reluctant RT in giving us a wave. Good evening. Is it good evening, fella? I think that's what I was wanting to say. Good evening. I'm having some technical things here. You'll understand why I'm having some technical things here in a second. If everything else works, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Kieran is in turn to page 69. Neil says he's got a pencil and a dice and a rubber ready. We might not need them, mate. I'll come on to that bit. Matt says, woohoo! Evening, BlackJackers. Let's get our adventuring heads on. Hashtag Manic Monday. Kieran saying it's spooky. We've got Norman Wood in as well. Good evening, Norman. We've got Dice Tales in, says hello. Good evening, Mark. How you doing? How are you doing? I'm sorry, I should say. Mark's got the spooky ghost going on. Dice Tales says, welcome, adventurers. Temporal distortion detected. Kieran saying sounds spot on. That's good. We've got Jack in as well. Good evening, Jack. We've got Thomas in as well. Says good evening to all. And we've got Jack saying, it's all dark, hope you can see the words in the book. So, Dice is saying, need candles, what could go wrong? And we've got Jean in saying, hi all. So, I didn't really reveal what the story was going to be tonight. However, if you follow me on Twitter, you'll have seen that Ian Livingston saw my tweet and he guessed what it was. So tonight, it's Death Trap Dungeon tonight. However, it's Death Trap Dungeon with a bit of a difference. I've tried to go all kind of 2019, go all tech, and what we've got is we have the digital version, which is exactly the same as the book, but it means I can concentrate on the stream and not having to keep a track on all of the numbers and pen and pencil and rolling dice and everything else. It rolls dice on the screen for me and everything else. So if you're familiar with the story, it's exactly the same as the book. I've had a check of it, but it just means that I can actually keep on top of it tonight. So we'll see how this goes. Fingers crossed it all works well. We've got Christian as well saying good evening, BlackJackers. So I think because I've got no idea how long this is going to take, I'm just going to kind of get into it. So the first thing we need to do is we need to set our character. So this is our character here. His name is BlackJackers. Why not? And I've just picked the portrait there as well. So yeah, he looks a little bit like Snake out of Metal Gear Solid. That's how we kind of picked him. Yeah. So this you can't put your. I'm just seeing what you're just saying there, Mark. You can't put your finger in a book. So this is who our character is. So what we need to do is, we've got Skullmunch just come in as well, even Sean. I choose to report a bug. There better not be any bugs. So what we need to do then is, we need to, and let me just, that was why that's it, I'll just move that down a touch. There we go. Right, so we're going to pick that adventurer mode. What we need to do is, we need to roll for stamina. So we'll roll for stamina. And we got, oh, that's not great stamina, is it? Even digitally, my dice rolls are awful. So, right, next we need to roll for skill. We need a nice high skill number here. So, let's roll for skill. And middle, it's not too bad. I think when you're rolling for skill in this game, you need to get under your skill level. So under 9 with 2 dice, it's not too bad. Now we need, oh no, it's not skill, it's your luck. It's your luck that you need to get there under, isn't it? So let's roll for luck. What's going on with these dice rolls? So that's all right. Next, we need to choose a potion. So I will let the chat choose the potion. So you can have a potion of skill, you can have a potion of strength, or you can have a potion of fortune. So Neil's saying re-roll and reset. No, we can't. Wait. Is that what you would do if you had the book? Would you just keep rolling until you got a new one? So who's gonna choose for this one then? Let me know first person to answer if we're gonna have skill, strength, or fortune, and we'll see how it goes. And what I'm gonna do is, obviously, because you can see the story on the screen, you'll get the chance to kind of see what the options are. Mark's come in there with skill, so we'll take a skill portion. Portion of skill. Everybody's saying skill. It's almost like skill was the right answer. So now we've got to get our equipment. Now in this particular one, we start with we've got sword, we've got leather armor, and we've got a backpack containing, I think it's 10 provisions when you start. So Flying Mammal saying she's bought adventure snacks for everyone. I might need them at some point, mate. I might need them. And Joel Ridley says, look. Sorry, Joel, we've already chosen it. And basically each provision restores 4 stamina. So we'll come on to that one as we go. So, once you've readied your equipment, you may begin. May the luck of the gods go with you on the adventure ahead. So, here we go into Death Trap Dungeon. So, despite its name, Fang... Oh, you can't see them. I've just got a Facebook notification pop up on the top of my screen, but it didn't come up on yours. It's okay. Despite its name, Fang was an ordinary small town in the northern province of Chiang Mai, situated on the banks of the River Kok. This thought was we meant to go on, eh? It made for convenient stopover for river traders and passengers throughout most of the year. A few barges, rafts, and sometimes even a large sailboat could usually be found moored at Fang. But all that was long ago, before the creation of the Trial of Champions. Now, once a year, the river is crammed with boats as people arrive from hundreds of miles around, hoping to witness the breaking of an ancient tradition in Fang and see a victor in the Trial of Champions. Each year, warriors and heroes come to Fang to face the test of their lives. Survival is unlikely, yet many take the risk, for the prize is great, a purse of 10,000 gold pieces and the freedom of Chiang Mai. Forever. However, to become a champion is no easy task. Some years ago, a powerful baron of Fang called Sukhumvit, I'll remember that now, decided to bring attention to his town by creating the ultimate contest. With the help of the townspeople, he constructed a labyrinth deep in the hillside behind Fang, from which there was only one exit. The labyrinth was filled with all kinds of deadly tricks and traps and loathsome monsters. Sukhumvit had designed it in meticulous detail, so that anybody hoping to face its challenge would have to use their wits as well as weapon skill. When he finally satisfied that all was complete, he put his labyrinth to the test. He picked 10 of his finest guards and, fully armed, they marched into the labyrinth. They were never seen again. Just checking your thing, Neil. It was spelled K-O-K, I think, but there you go. And Kieran saying, hang on, is Baron Sukhumvit the Lord of Cock? Apparently so. This video has already been demonetized before I even went live, so we can say cock as much as you want now. The tale of the ill-fated gods soon spread throughout the land, and it was then that Sukhumvit announced the first Trial of Champions. Messengers and news sheets carried his challenge, 10,000 gold pieces and the freedom of Chiang Mai forever, to any person surviving the perils of the Labyrinth of Fang. The first year, 17 brave warriors attempted the walk, as it later came to be known. No one reappeared. As the years passed and the Trial of Champions continued, it attracted more and more challengers and spectators. Fang prospered and would prepare itself months in advance for the spectacle it hosted each year. The town will be decorated, tents erected, dining halls built, musicians, dancers, fire eaters, illusionists, and every sort of entertainer hired. The entries registered for hopeful individuals intent on making the walk. The week leading up to the festival found the people of Fang and its visitors in wild celebration. Everybody sang, drank, danced, and laughed until the day of the trial broke, and the town thronged to the gates of the labyrinth to watch the first challenger of the year step forward to face the Trial of Champions. Having seen one of Succumvent's challenge flyers nailed to a tree, you decide that this year you will attempt the walk. For the last 5 years you've been attracted to it, not for the rewards, but for the simple fact that nobody has ever yet emerged victorious from the labyrinth. You intend to make this the year at which a champion is crowned. Gathering up a few belongings, you set off. Immediately. I'm just reading here. I'll catch up on the chat a little bit. Joel is saying, let's just get there and kick some ass. Kieran says, wait until he comes across some more lines. Insta-death. 2 days walk takes you west to the coast, where you enter the cursed port Blacksand. Wasting no time in that city of thieves, you buy your passage on a small boat sailing north to where the River Cock Sea meets the sea, and from there you raft upriver for 4 days until you finally arrive in Fang. The trial begins in 3 days' time, and the town is in an almost hysterical mood of excitement. You register your entry with the officials and are given a violet scarf to tie around your arm, informing everyone of your status. For 3 days you enjoy Fang's greatest hospitality and are treated like a demigod. During the long merriment you almost forget your purpose in Fang, but the evening before the trial the magnitude of your task ahead begins to dominate your thoughts. Later you are taken to a special guest house and shown to your room. There's a splendid 4-poster bed with satin sheets to help you rest, but there is little time left for sleep. Just before dawn, a trumpet call awakens you from vivid dreams of flaming pits and giant black spiders. Minutes later, there's a knock on your door, and a man's voice rings out saying, "The challenge begins soon. Please be ready to leave in 10 minutes. You climb out of bed, walk over to the window, and open the shutters. Already people are thronging the streets, moving quietly through the morning mist, spectators on their way to the labyrinth, no doubt, hoping to find a good vantage point from which to watch the competitors. You turn away and walk over to a wooden table on which your trusty sword lies. You pick it up and cut the air with a mighty sweep, wondering what beasts its sharp edge may soon have to meet. Then you open the door to the corridor. A small man greets you with a low bow as you emerge from your bedroom. "Please follow me," he says. He turns to his left and walks quickly towards the stairs at the end of the corridor. Leaving your guest house, he darts down the narrow alleyways between houses, and you have to walk quickly to keep up with him. Soon you come to a wide dirt road lined with the cheering crowds. When they see your violet scarf, they cheer even louder and start showering you with flowers. The long shadows cast by the people in front of you shrink as the bright yellow sun rises higher in the morning sky. Standing there in front of the noisy and vibrant crowd, you feel strangely alone, aware of your coming ordeal. Suddenly you feel a tug on your shirt and see your small guide eagerly beckoning you to follow him. Ahead you see the looming hillside and the dark mouth of a tunnel disappearing into its inner depths. As you get closer, you notice 2 great stone pillars on either side of the tunnel entrance. The pillars are covered with ornate carvings, writhing serpents, demon deities, each seeming to scream a silent warning to those who would pass beyond them. You see Baron Succumvent himself standing by the entrance, waiting to greet the contenders in the Trial of Champions. It's nice that it's got some of the artwork in here as well. I'd have been constantly flicking the book and going, "Oh, look how nice that is," kind of thing with the lights and stuff. It's nice that it's up on the screen. Mark saying he was 12 when he first read this. Yeah, I think I was probably about 8 or 9 as well. You count 5 others standing proudly in line, their violet scarves displayed for all to see. There are 2 bare-chested barbarians dressed in furs. They stand completely motionless, legs straight and slightly apart, arms thrust forward to rest on the hilts of their long, double-headed battle axes. A sleek elven woman with golden hair and feline green eyes is adjusting a crossbelt of daggers wrapped around her leather tunic. Of the two remaining men, one is covered from head to foot in iron-plate armor, with a plumed helmet and a crested shield. The other is cloaked in black robes, only his dark eyes showing between the swathes of his black face scarves. Long knives, a wire garrote, and other silent death weapons hang from his belt. The 5 contenders acknowledge your arrival with almost imperceptible nods of the head, and you turn to face the exultant crowd for the last time. Suddenly, a hush falls over the crowd as Baron Succumvent steps forward holding 6 bamboo sticks. You draw one from his outstretched hands and read the word, 5th. Then the trial begins. The knight is first. He salutes the crowd before disappearing into the tunnel and is followed half an hour later by the elf. Next goes Barbarian and then the Dark Assassin. Now it's your turn to salute the crowd. Holding your violet scarf aloft, you take a final deep breath of cool fresh air before turning to pass between the stone-pillared gateway into Succumvent's corridors of power to face unknown perils, the walk through the mighty Baron's death trap dungeon. Right. There's quite a bit here. I'm going to skip, if you don't mind, right? Okay. Oh, no, I'm not. Right, I'm going to read it because this is where we start now, okay? So the clamour of the excited spectators gradually fades as you venture deep into the gloom of the cavern tunnel. Large crystals hang from the tunnel roof at 20-metre intervals, radiating a soft light just enough for you to see your way. As your eyes gradually become accustomed to the near darkness, you begin to see movement all around. Spiders and beetles crawling up and down the chiselled walls disappear quickly into the cracks and crevices as they sense your approach. Rats and mice scurry along the floor ahead of you. Droplets of water drip into small pools with an eerie plopping sound, which echoes down the tunnel. The air is cold, moist, and dank. After walking slowly along the tunnel for about 5 minutes, you arrive at a stone table standing against the wall on your left. On it there are 6 boxes, one of which has your name painted on its lid. Now, should we open the box or shall we walk north? So while you make that decision, I want to show you some other cool stuff, right? So this is our adventurer sheet, which shows us exactly what we have, and it will update automatically as the game goes on. And we also have a very nice map here as well, which I think is showing from when I was testing it before. However, maybe it's not, who knows. But yeah, nice. So do we want to open the box, or do we want to carry on north? The choice is yours. Everyone wants to open the box. Okay, so we'll open the box. The lid of the box lifts off easily. Inside you find 2 gold pieces and a note written on a small piece of parchment addressed to you. After placing the gold in your pocket, you read the message which says, "Well done. At least you have the sense to stop and take advantage of the token aid given to you. Now I can advise you that you will need to find and use several items if you hope to pass triumphantly through my death trap dungeon. Signed, Succumvent." Memorizing the advice of the note, you tear it into tiny pieces and continue north along the tunnel. After walking down the tunnel for a few minutes, you come to a junction. A white arrow painted on one of the walls west. On the floor you can see wet footprints made by those who entered before you. It's hard to be sure, but it looks as though 3 of them follow the direction of the arrow, while 1 decided to go east. So folks, are we going to go east or are we going to go west? Neil saying reverse psychology don't conform. Skullmunch said he'll take box 12. This is not deal or no deal, you know. Joel Wrigley was first. We're going to go west. So, following the 3 sets of wet footprints along the west passage of the tunnel, you soon arrive at a junction. If you wish to continue west, follow the 2 sets of footprints, then we can do. Or we can choose to go north, following the 3rd set of footprints. Oh, Neil says he needs to draw a map. Let me. We've got a little map here. I don't want to spoil them bits in case that's something to do. Yeah. So we've got a few. Darren saying west. We've got a few saying east there. I think some of those wests might be off the last one. Artie saying west, young man. Well, I think we'll continue west then, folks. Walking along the tunnel, you are surprised to see a large iron bell hanging down from the ceiling. We've got the choice. We can either ring the bell or we can walk around it and continue walking west. So let me know, either have tell me ring bell or tell me walk west, and then I know it's from a different one. Just say hello to a few people who's come in while we've been chatting. I've mentioned Chris, we've got Neil, we've got Flying Mammal, we've got Darren Whitehouse, we've got Tiberius is in, we've got Steve Smallworld, even Steve, we've got a few faces in. That's how we're doing for the chat. We're not doing too bad. This is a little bit different to our normal Monday Night Lives. Joel says, don't ring it. Neil says, no. Steve says, ring. My wife's there saying, ring the bell. You must be bored shitless already watching this. Everyone says it. Broken, ring the bell. Ring my bell. Bells are evil. Continue west. Right. Let's have a look. We've got Flying Mammal there. Says, tell me ring bell. Let's ring the bell and see what happens. A dull bong sounds from the bell like a death toll. Everything around you starts to vibrate, and you grit your teeth as your head starts to shudder. Your whole body is trembling, and you fall to the floor. You quiver and shake, writhing convulsively on the floor as the vibrations intensify. You lose 2 skill points and 2 stamina points. Oh, damn. You search desperately for a way of stopping the bell. Will you scream as loud as you can, or try and deaden the bell with your boot? So, scream or boot? Which one we're going to do? Joel says, ah! Exactly. Oh, dear me. What a way to start, eh? So, just while you decide, while you're deciding what we should do there, we'll just have a quick look. So, as you can see here, actually, I wonder if I can put my mouse over the top of it so you can see. Yeah, here. So, stamina, we started with 15 stamina points, and we've now dropped down to 13. Our skills dropped slightly as well, and luck's still where it is. And here you can see the gold that we picked up from the box. Skullmunch says, hi, Mrs. Blackjack. She's away in a hotel tonight. I'm looking after the little one, so I have to dash off. I apologise. But yeah, what a way to spend your night, eh? Sitting listening to me telling stories. We've got a lot of boot there, right? So let's get the mighty boot engaged, as Chris says. So, deaden the bell with your boot. You pull your boot off your foot and force yourself to reach up and hold it against the bell. Slowly the bell stops vibrating. The pain in your body gradually eases. You manage to stand up, but you do not release your boot from the bell until it becomes completely still. You put your boot back on your foot and then continue your journey west. The tunnel veers sharply to the right and you continue north for as far as you can see. You hear a tremendous commotion in the distance, growling and snarling and howling. You draw your sword and set off in the direction of the noise. Ahead in the dim light you see 2 hobgoblins fighting, punching and kicking each other furiously. There's a leather bag lying on the floor and it seems to be this that they're fighting over. Will you try and talk to them? Will you attack them with your sword, or will you try and slip by? So, talk, attack, or slip. We'll see how it goes. So, Skullmunch saying, who would want to watch this in their spare time? Exactly. I just kind of realised what I'd said there, really. I must stress this is not how, like, my wife isn't as big a geek as I am, so this is not really her kind of thing. I wouldn't be surprised if she's already logged off by now. Tiberius is saying it's like Bandersnatch Jackanori. So, are we going to talk to them? We're going to slip by. We've got a few saying slip by there. Right, let's slip by it is then. You creep up behind the fighting hobgoblins and, leaping out of the shadows, push them into the wall as you run by. That's not sneaking by, is it? You look back to see them sprawled on the floor and chuckle to yourself as you hurry on north. The tunnel soon takes another sharp right turn. Following it east, you arrive at a strange obstruction. A line of 12 wooden poles across the tunnel. They are fixed to the walls about half a metre across off the floor and spaced a metre apart. So, are we going to step between the poles, or are we going to walk across the top of the poles? So, we'll have step or top. Tell me which one you want to do. Step between them or walk across the top of them. Flying Mammoths and a reroll. Mrs. B's there saying not yet. But I would suggest that's probably. I'll give it a half past. If you're still here at half past, I'll be impressed. So, what we're going to do, folks, we're going to dash between the poles, or are we going to walk across the top of them? Mark saying top, Christian saying top, Steve saying step, Thomas is saying top. Whoa, we've got a few more for top, I think, at the minute. Oh, it's swinging. Yep, there's more tops, I think. So we're going to walk across the top of them. You step confidently onto the first pole and stride across to the next. As you land on the third pole, it immediately releases a shower of sharp splinters. Each several centimeters long. You lose 2 luck points. You can't blame me and my dice rolls tonight, folks. This is definitely on your head. They fly out in all directions at great speed and you cannot avoid being hit. Roll 2 dice to determine the number of splinters that sink into your flesh. You lose 1 stamina point for each splinter. So, how many stamina points have we got left? We've got 13 left. We're going to survive it. We'll be all right. So we'll roll a dice. Oh, 1. Best it could have been. So we are still alive. So let's move on. You must rest for a long time to recover from the wounds caused by the splinters. Eventually you feel well enough to move along. Now, folks, don't forget, we've got a potion of skill, should we want to boost our skill back up again. And we've also got 10 provisions if we want to boost our stamina back up. So, if anybody wants to do any of those at any point in time, let me know and we can add them on. The tunnel ends at a junction. The footprints you have been following turn north and you decide to stay with them. Let's have a quick look at the map as well, see how we're doing. So, this is the way we're going. We're going through new. I'll tell you what, let's zoom in a bit. So this is the way we're going anyway. Joel is saying, can we have our tea now? Joel wants to eat some provisions, yeah? Let's take one of the provisions then. So we will use the provisions. Yes, use it. So we're back to full health now. You soon come to another junction that leads in the tunnel. One branch leads east, but the wet footprints you have been following continue north, and you decide to follow their trail. The passage opens out into a wide cavern, which is darker but much drier. Ahead you see footprints. You see the footprints gradually fade, then disappear. There's a large idol in the centre of the cavern, standing approximately 6 meters high. It has jeweled eyes, each as big as your fist. There are 2 giant stuffed bird-like creatures standing on either side of the idol. If you wish to climb the idol to take the jewels, we can do that. Or if you want to walk through the cavern in the opposite to the tunnel in the opposite wall, we can do that. So we'll have either climb or we'll have walk. Tell me which one you want to do. How we're doing? We've got about 30 people in. Not too bad. Not too bad. It's a bit of a different one tonight. It's not our normal chat, and it's I guess it's a different crowd, isn't it? It's less miniatures tonight, so it'll be interesting to see how it does. But it's going all right so far. We've got a few. Watch out for the massive boulder. We've got a couple saying walk. We've got a few saying climb, get the jewels. Walk, walk, walk. We've got a lot of walks here. Well, I think the walk's got it. We're not gonna climb. We're gonna walk. So, not much farther down the tunnel, you come across a closed door on your left. Putting your ear to the door, you listen intently but hear nothing. Do we want to open the door or do we want to keep walking? So we'll have open or walk. And I'm gonna choose somebody this time. So we'll have. Let's have a look. Reluctant Artie, you tell me this time what we're going to do. Are we going to open the door or are we going to keep walking north? I'll look out for your... We've got Dustin just come in saying, ring the bell. Are you watching on catch up, mate? We've got a few saying open. What do you want to do, Reluctant Artie? We've got lots saying open. Are you gonna go with the crowd? He says open, let's do it. So we'll open the door. You enter a room which is small and completely empty. As soon as you're inside, the door slams shut behind you. Suddenly a voice booms out of nowhere shouting, I'm not going to shout the bairns asleep. Welcome to Death Trap Dungeon, the ingenious killer labyrinth of my master adventurer. I trust you will pay your respects to my master by shouting out his name. Will you shout, "Hail Succumvit," or will you shout, "Succumvit is a worm"? So who we're gonna choose this time? I think we'll have Neil Anderson. Neil, are we going to hail to Succumvit, or are we going to tell him he's a bit of a worm? Dustin's saying, watching it at work, can't really reply quickly to the fun, just being cheeky. That's not like you, Dustin, is it? That's not like you. Skullmunch wants to hail Satan. Hal wants to shout worm. Platinum for the win, says Mark. Darren wants to hail him as well. What we gonna do, Neil? Neil says work. I think he means worm. We're going to call him a worm, I think there is. So, once again, the mysterious voice calls out, only this time, to your great surprise, it's in a far less threatening tone. Good. My master likes those who show spirit. Take this gift to help you. It will grant you one wish, but one wish only. Farewell. Nicely done, Neil. I'd have gone the other way. A gold ring magically appears out of nowhere and lands at your feet with a gentle tinkle. You pick it up and put it on one of your fingers. The door opens and you step back into the tunnel and continue north. So we'll see now that we now have the Ring of Wishes has been added to our adventurer's backpack. The tunnel twists and turns but keeps steadily north. Ahead you see a thin shaft of blue light streaming down from the ceiling to the floor. It sparkles and shimmers, and you can see images of laughing faces in the light. So we can either walk through the light, or we can walk around the light. So Joel, you can get to choose this one. Joel Wrigley, are we going to walk through it, or are we going to walk around it? Matt says he wished to be at the end when we win. You might be wishing that you could get the next hour and a half back. We'll see how it goes. Joel wants to go around it. Okay, so you come to an arched doorway set in the right-hand wall of the tunnel. The heavy stone door is closed, but there is an iron latch and a round handle. So we can either try the door, or we can continue along the tunnel. Chris from Carson's Bazaar, what do you want to do on this one, mate? Do you want to try the door, or do you want to keep walking along the tunnel? Let's see what happens. Round, round, round. Let's go round again. Our person says they look so happy. They definitely didn't. Let me get a drink while you're deciding there, mate. So, Chris, it all hinges on you, son. Mark's saying, kick the door in. Darren wants to walk. It's up to Chris, this one. The next one we'll go back to the chat and see what everybody wants to do. Chris wants to keep walking. Okay, let's have a quick look on the map as well, just to see where we are. So here we are, the laughing faces. Ooh, I don't like the idea of that. Pit of worms, that kind of gives a little bit away, doesn't it? I want to stop looking at the map. So he wants to keep walking. The tunnel ends shortly at a junction. Looking left and right, you see a narrow passage disappearing into the dim distance. So folks, east or west? I'll take the first choice that gets five votes for it, east or west. Whichever one gets 5 votes first, that's the way we're going. We'll see how we do. East or west, dear adventurers? One's each, east and west at the minute. 2 for east. 2 for west, 3 for west, 4 for west. West it is, we're going to go west. Head west, young man. Oh dear. Ahead you hear the sound of rocks being ground and crushed. The noise grows louder and suddenly you realise that the wall on your right is starting to collapse. Terrified, you watch as a large, hideous, worm-like creature with a gaping mouth and extraordinary powerful mandibles slithers through a hole in the wall. Its great jaws continue to crunch the rock as it turns its head slowly from side to side, feeling the cool air in the tunnel. It appears to be totally blind, but seems to know of your presence, perhaps sensing the heat of your body. It starts to slither towards you with its mandibles wide apart to attack. If you wish to fight the rock grub, we can do that, or if you'd rather run back down the tunnel, we can do that as well. So let's see what we've got. Dice Tails, Mark, tell me what you'd like to do, mate. Do you want to fight or do you want to run? Skullman says, wait, we went east. Kill it. Take its treasure and sweet XP. Mark is he's been very gallant there. Let's do it, mate. Let's go. Let's get into our first fight. So you draw your sword and advance slowly towards the huge, slimy rock grub. So we're going to fight it, folks. So here we go. So it's got 11 stamina and it's got 7 skill. So let's hope we roll well. We're the white dice, by the way, and the monster is the red dice. So we got 10, monster's got 7 there. So we've done a bit of damage. I'm not going to use our luck to try and improve that one. Oh, 12 for the rock grub. Mrs. B says she's made it to 9:36. That's probably about 35 minutes longer than you've ever made it on a live stream anyway. Oh, we take a bit of damage there. At any point we can escape, by the way, but I'm going to keep going. That's a bit better for us. We give it another whack. Scumwood says no good drawing a sword now. No time for art class. Oh, how's that one looking? Oh, we take another whack. Do we get the choice to take some food? We can if we want to. Let's just keep going for now. Oh, we've taken another whack there, I think, as well. Stamina 7. How are we doing? Oh. Oh, that was a cocked dice. Let's see how we're down to 9. Oh, you can't take any provisions in the middle of a fight. I never knew that. So this is it. You've got to fight it again. Ah, that's a bit better. That's a bit better. Oh, what happened there? It jumped. We've nearly got it, folks. We've nearly got it. I'm going to try a luck roll and see if we can do. You are lucky. That's it. We do 2 more damage. We have defeated it. We are triumphant. I think this might be the point. Tony saying, finish him. Right, we've got. I think this is the point we put a bit more. We take some of these provisions. Let's top ourselves up a bit. Get us back to a rather healthier looking place. So we've killed it. You step around the great bulk of the dead rock grub and peer into the darkness of its borehole. You can only see a few meters, but are able to make out that it inclines slightly and is wet from the secreted slime of the rock grub. If you wish to explore the borehole, we can do, or we can walk west. Let's see who we're going to choose this time. Let's have a look where we've got horrid person Gene. It's up to you, buddy. What we're going to do? Are we going to explore the hole after we've just killed it, or are we going to just walk away? Let's see what we're going to do. Joel saying, don't explore. Let's see what Gene wants to do. Hal saying, slimy booker. Joel saying, I remember this. I don't remember it, I'll be honest. I started flicking through it and then I thought, actually, I'm spoiling it for myself. I'm quite looking forward to reading it. Mark says, enter its hole. Skull Munch. Always explore the borehole. Oh. What we gonna do, Gene? We've got quite a lot wanting to do it. Wallow in the gloop. There we go. We're gonna go in and explore the borehole. Tapping the side of the borehole with your sword, you tread your way blindly through the sticky slime. You follow its twisting and turning course for what seems an age and begin to wonder where it might lead. Suddenly you hear a slithering sound overhead. You freeze with fear, your eyes desperately trying to pierce the pitch black darkness. Before you realize what is happening, you are gripped round the neck of the powerful mandibles of another rock grub. It is the mate of the rock grub you killed and has been attracted to the smell of blood in your sword. It squeezes harder until your neck snaps like a small twig. Your adventure ends here. The end. I did not expect to die in the first 40 minutes. Skull Munch, first death. So, what we're doing, folks, are we resetting and going again? I won't read all that stuff again. Flying Mama. I was going to, and then I realised you'd already answered one, Flying Mama. So, the end. There we go. First death. So, as you can see, folks, if this is if this works well, we've got plenty of other options of other ones I can buy. Reset, says Neil. Right, let's get back into it quick. So, let's get straight back in. Okay, let's do this quickly. We'll do adventure. Let's roll for stamina. That's better for stamina, isn't it? This is the one. Skill. Could have been better. Luck. 6. That's not too bad. Did you? I thought I'd already asked you for one, Fly Mammal. You get the first choice next time. Apologies for that. I thought I'd already asked you one. Right. You can choose what portion we take, Flying Mammal, and you can also have the first choice of what we do. I'm not rereading it for the newcomers there, Tiberius. So, Flying Mammal, skill, strength, or fortune? Yeah, she probably thinks it's over, reluctant. She probably thinks that's the end of the game now. Let's have a look. So, Flying Mammal, what we're going to do? Skill, strength, or fortune? Explore the borehole. Never explore the borehole. Somebody was saying that they remembered it from the original as well. Strength, please. Of course, you can have strength. Okay. Right, we repair our equipment. Begins. We are not rereading all of this. If you want to know what this said, go back to the start of the stream. We'll flick through. Yes, we've read all this. Right. We should open the box, shouldn't we? We'll do that because we'll be daft not to. We've got some gold. Right, Flying Mammal. East or west? I forget which way we went before. Does the map show us? Oh, so the map remembers which way you've been in the past anyway. We know not to make the same mistakes again. So east or west, Flying Mammal. Mark is saying it's a multiplayer solo game. Does that make it a co-op? What colour? What colour? So, oh, my throat's drying tonight, all this chatting away. Normally I at least stop and read some of the chat. Which way do you want to go, Flying Mammal? Do you want to go east or west? The folks are saying we went west last time. Do you want to try east? East it is. Ahead you can see a large obstruction on the tunnel floor, although it's too dark to make out exactly what it is. The wet footprints you have been following carry on towards the obstruction. If you want to continue east, turn to 56. If you'd rather go back to the junction and head west. So, right, let's have a look. Tony, Mr. Spooky Thing, where would you like to go, east or west, buddy? Do you want to continue going east, or do you want to go back to the junction and head west? I think we're probably going to go east, aren't we? Mark says a darkness rises in the east. It's a massive rock grub turd. It wouldn't surprise me if we end up in the same place. Let's have a look. We're on the eastern path this time, so the rock grub's over the other side. I think we should be okay. Where was the rock grub? Was it up here? No. Where's Gandalf when you need him? Tony wants to go east, so we're going to continue east. You see that the obstruction is a large brown boulder-like object. It might be a rock grub turd. You touch it with your hand and are surprised to find that it's soft and spongy. Do you want to try and climb over it? Or do you want to slice it open? So the first one to get 5 votes, open or climb. Open or climb. What's folks thinking about this, by the way? It's hard for me to judge it, really, trying to see how it's doing. What do you think? Is it good? Is it worth continuing with? Full on turd. So we've got an open, 1 for open. Let's see, we're waiting for 5 votes for one of them. 1 for slice, 2 for open, 2 for slice, 3 for open. Oh, they're all open. Open, slice it open. That's what you want to do, isn't it? Okay, that's what we're going to do. Your sword easily pierces the thin outer casing of the giant spore ball. A thick brown cloud of spores bursts out of the ball and envelopes you. Some of the spores stick to your skin and it starts to itch terribly. Great lumps come apart on your face and arms, and your skin feels as if it's on fire. You lose 2 stamina points. Frantically scratching your itching lumps, you step over the now deflated spore ball and head east. Oh, damn. The tunnel makes a sudden turn to the left and heads north as far as you can see. The footprints you are following start to peter out as the tunnel becomes gradually drier. Soon you're beyond the dripping roof and the pools on the floor. You notice the air becoming hotter and you find yourself panting even though you're walking quite slowly. In a small recess on the left-hand wall, you see a section of bamboo standing on its end. Lifting it down, you see it is filled with a clear liquid. Your throat is painfully dry and you feel a little dizzy from the heat in the tunnel. So, what we're going to do, let's have a look. Are we going to drink it or are we going to continue north? Let's have a look. Kieran Morris. He's a quick one, Kieran. I know he says he's happy listening away while he's working on stuff. You might not be up to date with the story, but Kieran, do you want to drink the liquid or do you want to keep going? Let's see how we're doing. Joel saying we're going to get dysentery. Flying Mama says it's fun and interesting. That's good. Hal says, what does Ian Livingston think about it? I wish he was here to tell us, mate. He seemed quite happy with the fact that he retweeted my tweet there, answered my tweet. So, Mark says we don't do well with holes. No, I think we're holophobic. Kieran says he's all about the drinking. I should have known. Ask an Irishman, of course he's going to drink it. The water in the bamboo pipe is welcomingly refreshing. You gain 1 stamina point. It must have been Guinness. It also contains a magical solution which will enable you to be exposed to melting point temperatures without harm. Discarding the bamboo, you start off north again in good spirits. Nicely done, Kieran. Thank you, mate. The temperature continues to rise and you find yourself dripping with sweat as you struggle on. The heat intensifies until it feels like a white heat and becomes so unbearable that you begin to pass out. If you drank the liquid from the bamboo, we can keep going. Although the temperature in the tunnel is higher than you could normally tolerate, the liquid from the bamboo pipe keeps you alive. Nicely done, Kieran. You might have saved us. Mercifully, the temperature now starts to drop rapidly, and soon it feels almost cool again. On the left-hand side of the tunnel, it's a closed door. It has a small iron plate in it, which might possibly slide open. So we've got 3 choices here. Who we're going to ask for this one? I think we'll have Tiberius. You can pick this one. Are we going to open the door? Are we going to slide the iron plate? Or are we going to continue north up the tunnel? Tiberius, the choice is yours, dear friend. Well, that was a nice choice, Kieran. Always trust the Irish when it comes to drinking, eh? That's the way to do it. Get in there, lads, as everyone is saying. Skullmunch is saying slide it in. No. Tiberius' choice, this one. The next one we'll put to a vote. Let's see how it goes. Tony's saying slidey, slidey. Let's have a look at the map and see how we're doing as well. So we're not double backing ourselves yet anyway. Tiberius is saying, open the door. I bloody love doors. Here we go. The door swings open into a small room, but before you know what's happening, you find yourself falling through thin air. There was a pit behind the door which you did not see. You land heavily at the bottom and wince with pain. You lose 4 stamina points. The pit walls are roughly chiselled and have plenty of toe and finger holes, so you're able to clamber out easily. You curse your own eagerness and tell yourself to be more careful in future when entering rooms. We are still alive. However, I think we should. Let's take some stamina provisions. Yes, use it. Let's get us back up. Inside the room, you see 2 iron hooks on the wall opposite the door. A coil of rope is hanging on one of them. You put it in your backpack. Jump back over the pit to leave the room and head north. Way to go, Kirk, says Hal. Oh, I love that artwork. Ahead, you see the tunnel that turns sharply to the left. You turn the corner and almost bump straight into 2 fierce-looking orcs, armed with morning stars and wearing leather armor. You are totally unprepared, and as you draw your sword, one of them swings its morning star at you. Right, let's see what we're going to do. We're going to roll a die. Fingers crossed, folks. We got a one. I hope one's good. Here we go. The orc's morning star thuds into your arm, knocking your sword to the floor. You must fight them barehanded. Reducing your skill by 4 for the duration of the combat. Fortunately, the tunnel is too narrow for both orcs to attack you at once. Right. Now we have got a potion of strength. Can we use it? Should we use that? Can we even use it? Let's have a look. We can use the potion of strength. So Skull Munch, you picked strength. Do you want to use it? You tell me. Not Skull Munch, sorry, it was Flying Mammal, sorry. Flying Mammal. Do you want to use the strength before we fight them? I don't really know what it does, actually. Andy's dice roll strikes again. It bloody does, even on an app. That's it, we have the muscles. Are we going to take the potion? Flying Mammal says it's okay, we have all the muscles. Yes, use it. Right. Let's see if this helps us. Right. Right, there we go. Oh, look at the way that rolled there. It's like it was meant to happen. There's the first hit goes in. Second one. Oh, they're only low skill anyway. I think we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. We're doing well. Oh, look at that dice roll. 6 and a 5. That's it. There's the first one gone. Now we've got to face the second one. Let's fight again. How are we doing? How are we doing? Oh, that was a close one. One more hit and we'll take it out. Oh, boxcars. He does it. There we go. 2 orcs. Right, let's see what happens now if you win. Inside one of the orc's pockets, you find 1 gold piece and a hollow wooden tube. You put your findings in your backpack and set off west. Punch that green screen, says Mark. Get wrecked, says Chris. As you walk along, droplets of water start falling from the tunnel. Sailing, you see wet footprints made by the same boots that you followed earlier, heading west. The footprints lead to a closed iron door in the right-hand wall of the tunnel, but do not seem to go any further. Right, let's do a vote on this one then. So, open the door or go west. First one with 5 votes. Open or west. Let's see what we do. Discard a clue token for a reroll. I don't even know what we've got. What's that thing we've got? We've got Oh, it was the last game we had that truth ring, wasn't it? At least we can paint them quickly. Skullmunch is right. At least we can paint them quickly. We've got 3 opens, 4 opens. Pet Shop Boys, open the door. I like that, Kieran. If it was the funniest answer, we'd have gone west. But as it happens, we're going to open the door. Did we learn nothing from opening doors last time? The door opens into a large chamber where you're shocked to see one of your rivals, who's obviously met a sudden gory death. It's one of the barbarians, and he is impaled on several long iron spikes, which are fixed to a frame that is sprung out of the floor. A lot of rubbish and debris litters the floor, concealing a hidden tripwire which he must have stepped on and thus released the spike frame. At the far wall is an alcove in which you can see a silver goblet standing on a wooden table. Will you walk over to search the barbarian, walk towards the alcove, or close the door and continue west? Well, let's have a look. Darren Whitehouse. This. That's what I said your name there, Darren, and Alexa Little. It's up to you, Darren. What do you want to do this time, buddy? Do you want to search the barbarian? Do we want to check out the alcove? Or do we want to just bugger off and get out of there? Carson says, broadsword. Muscularity. What a picture that is, isn't it? They don't make them like that anymore, do they? That's for sure. This one's Darren's choice. Skullmunch says, screw this, let's run. We've got a few for searching. Gene saying, silly barbarian trips for kids. Neil says, ask Alexa. I could do, see what she says. Alexa, should we search, walk, or go west?
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Alexa doesn't know.
I don't know that.
No, she doesn't know. So Darren says we're going to search the barbarian. The pouch on the barbarian's belt is empty apart from some strange looking dried meat wrapped in a cloth. There's a lot of things I could say about strange looking dried meat wrapped in a cloth from the barbarian's waist, but I won't go there. So we can either eat the meat, we can leave the meat and check out the alcove, or we can head west. So then, Darren, let me know now, mate. You can continue this one. Do we want to eat the meat? Do we want to check out the alcove? Or do we want to head west? Interesting choices. Coleman says, eat it, eat it. Yes. Tiberius wants to eat it. I tell you what, there's a lot of love for eating his meat, shall we say. Darren eats it. The meat contains herbs which will increase your strength. You gain 3 stamina points. What do you want to do now? It's determined, isn't it? Tony says, what is this death trap picnic? Al says, you know you want the meat. Right, are we going to leave the chamber or are we going to inspect the alcove? Let's have a look. Who's not? Steve Evans. Steve, I don't think you've had a choice yet, buddy. We're going to walk over and inspect the alcove, or are we going to go out of the chamber and head west? Let's have a quick look at the map while we wait. So we head west. At least we're heading away from where we were before. Neil says what happens in the dungeon stays in the dungeon. Sounds like you've been in one before, mate. Dank beef. Darren wants to inspect it. What do you want to do, Steve? Steve Evans. It's all spooky. What's gonna happen? Steve wants to inspect it. Okay, so you walk slowly to the alcove, carefully checking the floor for any more hidden traps. You see that the goblet contains a sparkling red liquid. We want to drink it, or we're going to leave. We're going to drink it. Always drink. If you ask Kieran, always drink. Lifting the goblet releases a spring catch, and a dart shoots out of the wooden table leg. We've got to test our luck. You are lucky. You needed a luck of 12 or below and rolled a luck score of 6. Excellent. Yes, we're lucky. Your reflexes are sharp and you quickly jump aside. The dart whistles past, only just missing you, and thuds into the opposite wall. You see the goblet lying on the floor and the red liquid running away into rivulets over the grey stone. At least the goblet may be of use, so you put it in your backpack. Right, so we're going to leave the chamber now. The passage soon leads to a junction. You notice more footprints on the floor, possibly as many as 3 pairs, heading north from the south passage. You decide to follow them. Ooh, we've been here before. The passage opens out into a wide cavern which is darker but much drier. Ahead of you, the footprints gradually fade, then disappear. Right, there's a large idol. Last time, we didn't climb the idol, did we? But we've got a rope this time. So, let's have a look. Who's not meant? Who's not? Steve Smallworld, if you're there, buddy. Do you want to climb the idol, or do you want to walk through the cavern? I think last time we avoided it, didn't we? So I'll give it a minute or so to see if, because I know sometimes Steve's working and he might not be able, but he's been chatting quite a lot tonight, so we'll give him a chance. Neil says east. Skullmunch says climb him. I'm sure we've got a rope now, haven't we? Let me check. The rope could be useful for climbing. We've got a coil of rope. Dice Tail says climb shiny preciousness. Steve wants to climb. That's what we'll do then. There you are. The idol is very smooth and will be difficult to climb. Do you have any rope? We do. You make the rope into a lasso, whirl it above your head and throw it at the idol's head, smiling happily as it falls around its neck. You then tighten the noose and start to climb, hauling yourself up the rope. You're soon at the top of the idol, sitting on the bridge on its nose and holding onto the rope. You draw your sword and wonder which eye to prize out first. Left eye or right eye? Let's have a look. Let's do it. Let's put this one to Thomas. Thomas C, this one's your choice. Do you want to do the left eye or the right eye? I have no idea if it's going to make any difference, but let's find out. Darren says he's loving this. Nice one, mate. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Joel says we can use the goblet to shove up the hobgoblin's ass if in danger. Joel saying test your luck. I don't think we need to test our luck at this time. Skullmunch says left. Reluctant Artie says right. We got left, right, left, right, left. Is this a march or are we just picking sides? This one's Thomas's choice. Thomas can choose this one. What are we gonna do, Thomas? How are we doing in the reviews? We got a nice kind of 26 in. That's not bad for this kind of night. Is this what happened to that bird out of TLC? Third eye. We don't want to be putting the sword in the third eye, mate. We've already had a bit of a run with the barbarians, mate. Thomas said he's painting with his right hand. We'll go left. So left hand. Left eye, sorry. And press the button. As you touch the idol's emerald eye, now, you hear a cracking sound below. Looking down, you are shocked to see 2 stuffed birds flying off. Their wings flap in jerky movements, but they are soon above you and look set to attack. Fight the flying guardians one at a time, but your skill is reduced by 2 during this combat because of your restricted position. You must fight. Here we go. 8 stamina. These ones are bad boys. Oh, we've taken a hit, folks. That looks a little better. Oh, it's not. We've got. We've only got one. Oh no, we've got reduced skill, haven't we? I forgot. What on earth's going on with them double ones? Oh, this is not looking good. Oh, yeah. They're pretty beefy birds by the look of it, mate. I'll tell you what we need to do. We need to roll on the luck chart for that one. Yes. You take 1 less damage. Every time you use your luck, you lose a point of luck, don't you? So, right, we've finally got a hit in on the bird. Is that any better? Oh, we got a draw out of that one. Let's see, that's a better roll. That's what we needed. We are getting slaughtered, Joel. That's not looking good, is it? This is the best bit is we got a second one to fight yet. Oh, this is not going our way, is it? This is not how we die. We don't want to be dying like this. 15-15. Oh, this is not good. We're taking a pounding here. If I thought wearing that Vader helmet would have helped with these dice rolls, I would have worn it, buddy. Honestly. Oh, can we come back from this? Let's hope so. Oh, this might be it. This might be it. Oh no, we got a draw. Use the goblet. Oh, this is tough. This is tough. We are taking some major damage. Oh. That's better. We got there in the end. We got there in the end. Now we've got to face a second one. We are seriously, and I don't think you can use provisions either. You can't use provisions at this time. Can we use the goblet? Can we use any of this stuff? No. You just got to keep fighting, folks. Let's hope for better dice this time. Oh. Let's see if what we're going to do. Right, we got a hit in. Flying Mammal's just willing the dice. Steve says it's game over, dude. Oh, we're taking an absolute smashing here. Oh, this is not good. Oh, we've got enough to get like 2 more hits in. Let's see how we get on. Oh, that's looking a bit better. Right, we need to use our luck now. Use our luck on this one, I think. Yes. We're lucky we did another. We killed it. Oh. Oh. Right, what we need to do now is we need to some of them provisions. We need to get our strength back up quick. Yes, use all the provisions. Right, we're back to full health. Right, we're back on it. We're back on the trail. We did it. We just made it. Hal saying, "Do you see Krabbeck's Star Wars interactive Christmas vids he did a year ago?" No, I didn't see them either. I'll have to check them. You look down and see the crumpled bodies of the 2 flying guardians lying motionless on the floor. You start to prise out the idol's emerald eye with the tip of your sword. At last it comes free and you're surprised by its weight when it falls into your hand. Hoping it may be of use later, you put it in your backpack. Now, do we want to prise out the right eye or climb down? So, first to 5 votes on this one then. So do we climb down or do we go for the right eye? Eat that stored kebab. I think we might. I don't know how much we got left actually. Let's have a quick look. How are we doing? We've got 4 left. We're not doing too bad. Skull Munch is saying prize the right one. Right. Right. Yeah, I think everybody wants the right one. We might as well go for it, mightn't we? You try to force the point of your sword under the emerald eye. Much to your surprise, the emerald shatters on contact, releasing a jet of poisonous gas straight into your face. The gas knocks you out and you release the rope, bounce down the idol and crash to the stone floor. Your adventure ends here. Oh, double death. Double death, folks. So, that's not good, is it? That's not good. Double death. Double death. Yes, so we know. We just want to keep avoiding that island in the future. So then, folks, what did you think of that then? Was that a bit of something a bit different to do on a Monday night? Anybody have a time turner? I actually think you can bookmark it, so you can go back, which is cheating. So you can like save it before you make a decision. Mark says what I meant to say was right. Let's climb down. So yeah, I was just saying that. So you can place bookmarks, which is effectively by looking forward to see what it does before you do it. So yeah, so I don't think we'll start another one now. We've got like 20 minutes left of the chat tonight, so I don't think we'll start another one. But yeah, what's your thoughts been, folks? Did you enjoy it? Was it a good bit of laugh? Was it a bit of a change? Nice just to mix things up a little bit. Something we could do maybe once every couple of months or something like that. So actually, let me show you the app in case anybody's interested. So if you go to the app, the app is actually free, and I think there's one book that's on it that is free as well. So you can play this Bloodborns, which is free, but as you can see, if I can scroll up, I don't know, right? No thanks. Let's go back. As you can see here, there's lots of other books as well. I almost picked up City of Thieves. Actually, that was my other choice. So yeah, so there's the app itself is actually a fighting fantasy app. So it's an official app. This is on iOS, but you can get it on Android as well. And I think the books are $3.99. I think they are. Yeah, $3.99 for a book. So I think I paid $6.99 for this one. And then I saw this app and thought it was easier to do it on the stream. So then I bought the app for another $3.99. So if you were wanting to give it a go, quite a nice little thing to do. See, if you're kind of out traveling about and stuff like that, it's quite nice just to just to have it kind of $3.99 is not too bad for a little bit of kind of nostalgia. You can also choose, if I remember right, or if you choose your book. So if we go back into the book, I think that what you can do is, where are the options? So here, what you can do is, as you come up, you can after you've encountered the images, there's the classic images, so you can have a look at them and stuff. You can delete the classic images as well. You can go. There's a gallery where you can look through different bits and pieces as well. Oh, it took us back to where we were. That's not good, is it? But anyway, so yeah, there's so you can restart it. There's also, let me just put this on as well, because this I've got it turned off at the moment. But if I turn this back up, you should be able to hear that. Where are we? There's a retro mode. I don't know what that is for visuals. If we restart it, let me just show you this when we restart it as well. There's actually sounds to it as well, and I did originally start with the sounds on, but I think that when you go into battle, it's quite overpowering, so I turned them off. I don't know whether you guys can hear the dice rolls and stuff, or if you can hear music. My desktop audio is not doing anything at the minute, so let's put the sound on. There we go. I can get through this. Yeah, I think I might need to get through this before it'll come on. Just pick one, and then so. Here we go. I don't know where it's. Oh, there it is. So you should be able to hear. And then there's different kind of sort of background musics you can choose as well. That's what I was looking for. Like Dungeon Delve and Stargazing. So there's actually a nice little background music. Problem is when you go into a battle. That looks a bit loud. The problem is when you go into battle, it gets really, really loud. So I Yeah, I didn't do that one. So yeah, something nice, just for a bit of a change. So for the last kind of 10-15 minutes, what's everybody been up to? How's your weekend been? We didn't really get into that at the start. What you been painting? What did you think of last week's videos? Are you looking forward to anything coming this week? As I've teased a couple of things that's coming in the next week as well. Let's see what everybody's saying. Let's have a look. Flying Mama saying, for the record, I chose down. Mark saying it was a laugh. Reluctant Artie says it was a bit of fun. Thomas says great fun. Skullmunch great fun. Everybody seems to have had a laugh. Matt enjoyed it. Oh, that's my alarm. Darren says that was the dogs. Tony said it was great stuff. Yeah, so we've just been chatting about the app there. Matt said he's buying the app now. Yeah, the app's free, and you get a free book with it. But yeah, I wanted to try Death Trap Dungeon tonight, I think. Neil says, guess what I'm reading, kids, next this week. Skullmunch says City of Thieves is my favourite. Yeah, I think it's actually one of my favourites as well, actually. Dice Tale says Legend of Andors was just released as a board game. Similar feel. Might be good to check. Joel says +1 for City of Thieves and Talisman of Death. Darren says he's up for doing it again. Yeah, I think, why don't we do it maybe once every month? Maybe once a month might be a bit often. Maybe it's once every couple of months. I'll put it into my schedule in the diaries and stuff like that. Skullman says one of the newer ones, Blood Zombies, is good too. I've never read any of the newer ones. I think Charlie Higson writes them, doesn't he? Who was he did all of the young James Bond books. Kieran says, show me the Hellboy. I tell you what, I wonder if I can, Kieran. I wonder if I can show you some of the Hellboy pictures prior to. Let me have a look. Let's have a quick. I'm trying to remember where I put them now. There they are. So let me just show you a couple of pictures and see if I can get them up on my screen. So if it loads up, I can show you them. Well, if it loads, it's taking forever. Here we go. So there we are. Let's if we get that, take that off. We'll take that off as well. That's it. That's what I was trying to do. So yeah, so these are some of the models from Hellboy. So these are the pictures that I took the other day. I'll see what I can get. As you can see, they're rather nice. And these are all models that are in the Kickstarter version. I also did a complete unboxing of the retail version as well, and I'll be releasing that a little later. Here we see the monkey with a gun. Got no idea what that is, if I'm honest. I don't remember the comics that closely, but there's some really nice miniatures in there. And these two are rather nice too. Yeah, and these busts, I love these busts for the kind of the tracker tokens. Really like them. So there's just a little sneak peek of what is to come in the Hellboy video. Let's see what's happening in the chat here. Mark saying, Dice Deals, you getting Kill Team Arena? I'm not sure actually, mate. I've been watching a couple of videos about it the last couple of days, and I'm not sure if it'll get any more player than the Kill Team I already play now. I'm not sure if I'll be doing it like kind of competitively. It looks like it's kind of what's the word I'm looking for? It's like a competitive player pack that they're making everybody buy rather than just stores, which is a bit strange. Skullmunch said he's been playing the Resident Evil 2 remake. Came out Friday, and I've beat it twice already. Still not even played the demo yet, mate. Still not played the demo. Steve says, just finished the last of these Forces of Nature tonight. Nicely done, mate. Nice one. Tiberi said he enjoys it, and then Ian Livingston is a sadist. I will tweet him tonight and tell him that we died twice on the live stream. Christian said he's working on some Walking Dead minis. Just finished Abraham. Looking forward to the upcoming Hellboy and Mantic videos. what I've got this week, I wonder if I can show you them. See, because if you get to see, let me check before I show you whether I'm allowed to show you what I can, like what's in my video list. I don't know whether there's some things that you're not meant to make public, but so let's see if I can. Let's check this out a second. So if I do this and I go to that screen, so there you can see we've got a couple of videos here, which is what's coming up this week. We've got Hellboy Kickstarter unboxing. That is tomorrow's video. And then on Wednesday, for our Wargaming Wednesday, we've got what's next for Vanguard. So I sat down with Matt from Mantic Games, and he took me through what's in the pipeline in 2019 for Kings of War Vanguard, and he also let me have a look at the very nicely Angel Heraldez painted orcs, which haven't been shared yet. So in Wednesday's video, I'll have the exclusive first showing of the pro painted orcs. Orcs, is that the one? Goblins, not orcs, goblins. Don't want you getting excited for orcs coming there. The goblins that have been talked about. The Heraldez paint jobs are back now, so I've got an exclusive showing of them in that video. So yeah, look forward to that one. Darren says, yeah, once every couple of months would be cool. Yeah, I think that's probably often enough, mate. Gene saying, good change up every couple of few months would be cool. Working on those Here's Negan models and waiting on treasure in the mail. Nice one. Neil says, Friday night with alcohol. Yeah, it'd be nice on a couple of beers, wouldn't it? Kieran saying, sweet, very cool. Cheers, bud. You're welcome. Tiberius is saying he's enjoyed the Mars Attack test figure, so he'll be getting stuck into that tomorrow. He's airbrushing the walls this weekend and do the obstacles. I was playing a little bit of, well, I was playing with the models from Mars Attacks with my 2-year-old son yesterday. He was absolutely loving just kind of rolling dice and knocking them over. Steve said he's loving the snake ladies. Tiberius is saying Hellboy looks good. The boob snakes look like what used to murder me in the Death Trap Dungeon game on the PlayStation. Darren said he was reading the Game of Thrones and had to put it down when I got the notification for this. Yes. Appreciate that, mate. Appreciate that. Neil says just found Sword of the Samurai. Oh, Sword of the Samurai. I remember that one as well. And Kieran says even I've not seen them Vanguard goblins. Sorry, Kieran. Yeah, there was some that Rob. I did see them all, but Rob is going to obviously share some official ones from Mantic, so he's got some to share, and then I've got the other ones. So you'll see them for the first time in Wednesday's video, and then I forget, I can't see in the dark what's on my board, but I forget what Thursday's video is. It's edited and it just needs uploading. And Friday's video is how to paint Poxwalkers, which has been asked for a couple of times. So yeah. How to paint Poxwalkers to go with the Death Guard models. So that's what the plan is for this week's videos. And then that will round out January and my first full month of doing 5 videos a week. What's people's thoughts on the 5 videos a week? I mean, I'm seeing some kind of decent growth on the channel at the minute, but is it too much? Do you just feel like you kind of don't bother watching half of them now? Do you catch up with them kind of? Do you watch them all? Do you watch some? It'd be good to get some kind of feedback and understand if people are interacting with them. Or I mean, I see some people kind of commenting on them, but I'm just conscious that it might be too much. It might be just seen as like, oh god, I'm sick of getting notifications every night now because bloody Andy's keep uploading videos. So just good to kind of get the balance and understand it. Mark said he's been supporting the Gobbos on #ManticMonday, but they always lose. I didn't see that. I saw like 5 minutes of the live stream tonight. Who was the winner? Matt says he's just finished his Night Stalker Butcher Flesh Ripper. Nice models then, man. I like what you did with the reposing and stuff as well. Reluctant Artie says you did well. Yeah, it's hard graft, mate. Tony saying love him, mate. No idea how you do it. Lots of late nights, mate. I tend to try and cram in as much as I can at a weekend from a filming perspective, and then I spend my evenings editing like a madman. So I was at Mantic on Friday and I recorded 4 videos with Mantic guys on Friday. So one was for something I can't talk about yet because it's not like it'll be released in conjunction with something else. The next video I recorded was the unboxing of the Hellboy Kickstarter that you'll see tomorrow. I then went straight in and did an unboxing video of the retail box for Hellboy, which will release when the game releases. So it'll be kind of a new unboxing video ready for retail release. So I've got to sit on that one for a little while. And then the 4th video was the one I did with Matt Gilbert about the Vanguard stuff. And we talk about what's happening over the rest of 2019 for Vanguard. We also talk about the adventure deck as well. So for those that don't know, within the book, there's a load of like sort of potions and upgrades you can take for your miniatures, for your warbands. Mantic are bringing out an adventure deck, which they've spoke about themselves, so I'm not kind of spoiling anything. And I got to have a look at the adventure deck, and we talk a little bit about that as well. And I think I remember Matt saying about 60% of the cards are what's in the book, but then the other 40% are all brand new stuff, and they're taken from Kings of War and they're taken from Dungeon Saga for a little bit of theme. So it just means I'll find it really helpful. I actually write them down on a bit of paper and put them next to my warband, so the cards are a great addition. So it's good to kind of. He also talks about the different warbands. What's the release schedule for what's coming up later this year as well. Darren saying I tend to catch up at the weekend. We're looking at RT saying I'm enjoying most. They're different subjects, which is great. Kieran says it's been a good month. I've watched them all. Steve says he's loving the videos. Watched everyone so far. Top job, mate. Thanks, mate. Hal said they watch all that apply to me. If I don't play the game, I don't watch the vid. 5 a week is a lot for a guy that doesn't YouTube full time. It's hard graft, mate. I mean, I'll be honest. It's hard, but I'd love to do this full time. I would absolutely love to get to that point. But when you're kind of my size, it's financially just doesn't even cover what I spend at the minute. So it's for me, it's kind of a double-edged thing. Part of me's trying to see whether I really could kind of commit to doing this kind of thing this often. You know, is it something that I'd really actually want to do as a full-time gig? And part of me is doing it just to give it like 12 months of absolutely give it my all, really do as much as I can to try and like build it up into something that maybe could be sort of financially viable in the future. So yeah, I intend to give it the whole year and see where it goes. So Kieran says watch most vids, not as soon as they're released, as you build up the content. I know there's stuff to dip in when I can. Mark said he watches them all as well. Thank you. Chris is saying he's liking 5 days of videos so long as you don't get burned out. 5 videos a week will take its toll, so as long as you're able to keep up the great quality of this month, it's spot on. To be honest, I'm enjoying them. The more I do, the more I enjoy it, because what I'm finding is I have to be really disciplined. So I've already got all of February's videos are already planned out what I'm going to do. I bought myself a second whiteboard as well, so I can write all of March's in as well. So I've got like 2 months video schedule all done. And once I've actually got the ideas down on paper, I just enjoy the film, and I like to just kind of keep going. And I don't feel like it's burning me out. I feel like it's actually fun. And for me, I think actually some of it is, I think some of the quality's improved because I'm actually I'm doing it more often and kind of faster. That actually I feel like some of my videos the quality's got better. So for example, the one I did about sort of second chance miniature games, I probably spent a bit longer editing it than I would have done in the past, and I put some movement into the pictures. I didn't just kind of put a picture in. I tried to kind of keep it like interesting to watch. And that video's done pretty good. So Thomas is saying 5 videos a week's going great. Different theme each night of the week. Helps keep it fresh and focused, I think. Watching more now than ever before and really enjoying it. Just hope it doesn't burn you out. No, I'm doing pretty cool. Peter says, oh no, I thought it was Sunday. I'll catch up when you repost, mate. Sorry you missed it, mate. We had a good laugh. Hopefully you enjoy it watching back as much as the folks that have been in tonight have enjoyed it. Hal says, I'm appreciating your effort, Andy. Well, thank you, Hal. It's nice of you to say so, mate. My intention is just to keep ploughing on, and hopefully good things happen in the future. Who knows? There's a few companies have kind of been in touch, sort of sending me some games out to review and things like that. So that helps keep my costs down a little bit as well. But as long as it doesn't become just like a money pit, it's my hobby really, so I'm enjoying it. Darren says, mate, you deserve all the success. Top bloke, and I love what you do. Thank you, Darren. That's very nice of you to say so. Appreciate that. And Tiberius says, I watch them all, but tend to go for the ones I'm really interested in when they appear. But I save up a lot of my YouTube subs to watch in one go. Yeah, I mean, I don't expect everybody to watch every single one, and I wouldn't suggest for 1 second that that kind of like, you better bloody watch them kind of thing. Some videos do better than others. Some videos are slow burners. Some start off quite kind of quiet and then pick up over time. Other ones have a real kind of peak in the first kind of few hours and then die off and don't really do much else. But I mean, like, there's been a few that's kind of surprised me really. Things like when I did the video about the year of, not the year of fantasy, sorry. The one about I'm not going to kind of salute. That one seemed to kind of pick up a bit of traction. The one I did about, where was it? There was one I'm just looking at where like my kill team versus the Necromunda, and the one about the Resident Evil 2 board game review seems to be going really well as well. That one's well over 2,000 views in the last kind of week. So yeah, it's going alright. Tyrese is saying channel building, giving and getting shout outs helps. It can do, but I don't want to just end up becoming a channel that just basically is. I'm all about supporting kind of people when they're starting out, and I do appreciate the help that people have given me as well. But if all I ever do on my videos is kind of shout out everybody else's channels, that's kind of. I think the best thing I can do really is just concentrate on keep uploading and keep trying to improve my quality, I guess. That's probably the best thing I can do at this stage. Maybe as I get a little bigger, if that happens, maybe I might sort of try and do some collaborations with some bigger channels. But yeah, see how it goes. I'm hoping my little kind of personal, which I'll share with you, 26 people, my own kind of personal goal is I would love to get to 5,000 subscribers by the time I go to UK Games Expo. And that felt like a massive kind of challenge a while ago. But the way it's kind of looking at the minute, I've had some good increases in subscriber numbers recently. And if it keeps climbing the way it's climbing, I'll be there or thereabouts. So that would be quite nice. Just as I can't control subscribers. People either subscribe or they don't. All I can do is control the amount and the quality of the videos that I put out. So if I try and stick to that, who knows? But with that, I think we'll call it a night, folks. We're at 10:30. Thank you, every single one of you, for coming in and kind of trying something a little bit different. This is not something we normally do, so it's good to try new things and keep trying to push the boundaries a little bit and see what works and see what doesn't work. So thank you, every single one of you, for coming in. Thank you to anybody that is watching this back as a kind of catch up, as a normal video. I appreciate that one. And I'll see you all in the next video, which will be tomorrow night, which was really Friday. So yeah, enjoy the Hellboy video, enjoy the rest of the videos for the week, and I'll see you all soon.